coming up on today's episode.
Good day, YouTube. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. I have some news today. This is a long story. I'll try to make it as concise as possible. But as you can probably tell from the title of the video, I bought the cheapest e-bike on Amazon. And it ended up not being as cheap as I thought. There's more to that story. We'll get into it. But let me show you the original one that I was going to buy. And we'll pop it up on the screen there and show you that. That's the Varon. And you can see the model number there and everything like that. Now, the price is wrong on that. When I bought it originally, back in, I forget now the date. I'll pop it up there somewhere. But anyway, it was $279.95, whatever it is like that. And so I was just interested because it looked like, I'd been looking at them for a while. What all started this, and let me tell you about that real quick. I was chatting with my son about wanting a bicycle on text, and he said, well, I've got one. He said, you can have it. It's a mountain bike. He says it's 21 speed or whatever it was. I can't even remember. And I said, well, what's it look like? So he had his son, Bryce, go out and take a picture of it. And I said, well, yeah, that's great. That's exactly what I want. So, and he says, in the meantime, he says, you don't really need that, Dad. You need an e-bike. And I said, what? I said, I said, the whole idea of getting a bike is to get some exercise. And he said, well, you can pedal the e-bikes. He said, but you can also get assistance from the motor. He said, that's the best of both worlds. So I was still hesitant about it, and I thought, well, I'll take a look at them, see what they cost, because I figured they'd be, outrageous price, because most of that stuff is. So anyway, I got on Amazon, started looking at them, and sure enough, most of them were pretty expensive, and $500 or more. And I thought, well, I'll just keep looking. So anyway, I stumbled on this one, and it said $279.95, free delivery. And then on top of that, Bob was looking at stuff too, and he says, you did notice it's got a 50% off coupon, did you? And I said, no. So I went back and looked at it again. Sure enough, there was a 50% off coupon. And so I thought, well, I'm going to try it and see what happens. I didn't expect to get it, because, that just seems a little outrageous to me. As you can see, it's a folding e-bike, and it looked pretty darn good, really, for the price. So I clicked on that and went ahead and submitted the order, and sure enough, I think it came to be around $149, something like that, with tax and everything, and free shipping. And like I said, well, heck, I'm going to buy that. So I did. I bought it. And there, I'll show you the confirmation from Amazon where I bought it. And there you can see that. And so, as you can see the date, I was supposed to get it originally. I don't remember what it was, but I'll pop it up there again. But like I said, so time went by, and as time is going by, I'm thinking, well, I want some things that I definitely want for this bike. I want a rack on the back to carry things, and I wanted a helmet. I wanted some other stuff, saddlebags to go onto the racks. I wanted that. And originally, the whole thing about it was I wanted a mount on the handlebars to mount my GoPro to, so I could, basically record everything I was doing. And my goal on this was to ride down O'Brien Street, or Al O'Brien Street, I guess you would say, and go to the new bypass out there, and right up to the railroad overpass where the train goes through there, and take my video or my tripod, my camera with me, and I was going to get some shots of the trains going under the overpass there. And I thought that would be kind of a neat thing. And then my whole goal was to basically ride around the bypass to where I usually cut through to go to Walmart, places like that. I take the back way, and I'll put a little route description on there and show you what that is. And you can see it's not overly long route, but at the same time it'll be a challenge for me because I'm not. You take somebody that's been as no exercise as me, just sitting in his chair most of the time, and put him out there on a bicycle pedaling his butt off. It's going to take something out of you. So I wasn't going to get it overdone anything. I was just going to take it easy. And I figured I could pretty easily ride to the bypass because it's basically flat. I mean, it's just perfectly flat. And about the only thing I'd have problems with there is the traffic on O'Brien Street. It's kind of stiff, but other than that, that would be the way to go. And so that was my goal. So, like I said, in the meantime, on this e-bike thing, I thought, well, if I can accomplish the goal I want to accomplish, I think my next goal is to ride out to my daughter's house. And this is where the e-bike come in because there were some places out there I knew I couldn't get up the hills and things. I mean, I might get up one and then have to sit there and wait to go back into riding more. But this way, I figured if I had the e-bike, I could use the electric to assist me going up the hills, and I probably could make it. So again, the thing was I wanted. The last time I rode a bike at all was when I was probably in my 40s, and it killed my butt. The little thin saddles they got on those. So I had seen, that they have improved those quite a bit, and I did order one off of Walmart, and I will pop up a picture of that, and you can see it is basically there's no nose to it. Well, very little one, and that keeps that area from hurting so much, I guess. And also the seat is very well padded, and I have got that seat, and I'm going to order another one now if I do get both bikes like I plan to do. My son has been very busy at work. He works for Indiana Department of Transportation, and they have been working on US 50, and it's been really a struggle to get that project done, and they've just been working them pretty late every night and stuff like that. So I told him whenever he got home to be there for a while, I'll ride out and get the bike. And that was the other thing. I bought a carrier that fits on the truck that will hold two bikes. So I've really gotten prepared on this stuff. But then, so going back to the e-bike, I got the notice. I don't know what the date is. You'll see it on the notice that I pop up from Amazon, that there was a problem because Amazon had figured out that that bike would have to ship at a certain time to get there by the promised date, and they said that it had not been shipped yet. And they said to check with the company, so I got on there and started looking at the feedback on that company, and there was like 4 different replies for the same exact thing. Didn't get their e-bike, and they wanted a refund, and they wanted this, and they wanted that, and so I could tell right away that wasn't going to happen. So I requested a cancellation through Amazon. They said it would take a couple of days to do that, and sure enough, there a few days later, I got the cancellation notice again popped up on the screen, and so I was a little disheartened. I thought, well, you get all these things in for your e-bike, like I said, the carrier, the helmet. I got everything in the world, for it. And I'm thinking, now I don't have an e-bike, don't have the other bike. I got all this stuff for nothing. And some of the things I already gotten 2 of because I thought, well, I want one for both bikes. And that was the other thing I got. It was a phone holder for my phone, my cell phone. I thought, while I'm riding, I want to put that on the handlebars too. And I got a good one of those that it clips in 4 places. It holds it tightly onto the handlebars so it won't go anywhere. So, but anyway, going on with the story, I got back on Amazon. And I'm thinking, well, all right, so I can't get that one. That was dirt cheap. I have to admit that from the time I actually bought it to waiting for the replies and things like that, I kind of thought it was too good to be true, and of course it was. Now I don't understand why companies do that because Amazon does not release that money until the bike ships. or the product that you buy ships. So they made absolutely nothing off that, other than to giving at least 5 people grief about buying it and then having it do what they did, and it just, like I said, it made no sense to me. So anyway, I got back on there and started looking again, and again my goal was to find the cheapest bike that I could, and e-bike that is, and so I came up with this one, and I'm going to flash up on the screen now. Now this one originally was whatever it was. It was a different price. I don't know what it is about these sellers that they change the price every time. Seems like you get on there, but with discounts and things like that, my final price was going to be $315 something, and I don't remember the change or anything like that. It was basically $315 for the bike, and so I thought, well, if maybe I can talk Bob, good old Bob, you all know Bob, into it. I said I'll take a personal loan from the business, and I'll go ahead and put down 150, which would make the loan for basically half, another 150, a little bit more than that, 165, whatever it was. So he said, yeah. I said, no problem. So we did that, and I basically sent $150 to our account, our PayPal account, and then he went ahead and ordered the bike. We had enough money to buy it anyway, but so I wanted to make sure that 150 got there. So anyway, so that's the deal. I thought, well, I'll pay $40 a month on it. And he said, yeah, that was perfect. So that's the plan anyway. So again, you think, well, after all this, am I actually going to get this? You have to think of that. And the original purchase date was, or supposed arrival date here at the house was whatever it was, and it got to the day that I guess they had to ship it to get it here, and it went to FedEx, and that was the shipper, and it said it would be here Friday. That was last Friday. This is Monday, and November the 11th. So anyway, Bob was doing all the tracking on this because it was he had placed the order for it on his Prime account, and that way there's no shipping thing. Well, there is shipping, but I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, he was following along, and he said right after they sent the notice that it would be here Friday, they sent him another notice saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we made a mistake." And right away, my heart sunk. I thought, okay, I'm not going to get this one either. But it said that basically they had miscalculated their busyness, or whatever you want to call it, and that the bike would not be here till the following Monday. And so again, I'm just thinking, okay, it's not coming either. So me and him have been kind of going back and forth and trying to find out as much as we can about the shipment. I asked him, I said, well, what does it say the dimensions are on the package that it is? And he said, well, the only thing I could find was 66 pounds. And so I got to looking at it. I got the tracking number for it. And I noticed the bike, or the dimensions were, well, they were big enough for a bicycle, to fit in, because it's not going to have the front wheel on it. They ship them without the front wheel. But like I said, it looked to be about right, because the bicycle itself, according to the ad, weighed 55 pounds. And I figured, well, given the shipping carton and all the other stuff, and so sure enough, we thought maybe it is actually coming. So all this time we've been kind of watching, and it finally, like I said, it said that it shipped that day from Riverside, I think it was, in California, or no, Chino in California, and and once they had sent that notice that it was going to be delayed till Monday, we didn't hear a thing from them, I believe, until yesterday. Yesterday, Bob got another notice that it was in Greenwood, Indiana. So again, that's another positive note. We're thinking, okay, maybe it's going to get here. So we're up and down, we're back and forth trying to get this, know if it's coming or not. But anyway, make a long story short, sure enough, this morning, he got a notice saying it is out for delivery. So I don't know exactly what time it was, but I don't know if there's a timestamp on the date. It shows on the picture that I want to show you. It shows it sitting outside my door. I must have been napping at that time. It was afternoon, between noon and 1, I would say, that it happened. And Bob sent that to me because I hadn't heard anything. Like I said, I was sitting here about half asleep in my chair. And sure enough, I went to open the door. There it was. So I managed to wrestle it inside. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and at 66 pounds, that's close to 70. And I just managed, you see how it is there in the picture, I just basically slid it down the open door until it got onto the ground, the bottom of the box. And then once it did that, I just went around behind it and lifted up on that end and slid it into the house. And the second picture you can see is where it's in the living room here. And that's where it is at right now. So this is a long time coming. And I had told some people that I had done this, but then after the first one fell through, I didn't bother telling about the second one because I thought, well, if it don't get here, it don't get here, and it'd just be between me and Bob. But so, like I said, it is here. Now you can see the box there is on the living room floor, and my mess in the living room. That's typical of my house. But my next plan is to, after I get done with this and posting it, I will be clipping those nylon straps and opening the box up. Now that will be a separate video. I don't know when that'll be done, but I'm going to get started on it after this is done, after I get this up. And you guys can have a look at it at the same time I do, and we'll basically go from there. And I think I've covered everything I wanted to. If I don't, I'll pop it up on the video in the post and put you some information there. But I think that's it. Like I said, I did buy the cheapest e-bike on Amazon. Trust me, I went over and over and over. The rest of them, now that Vaughan that I showed you, it came up as $299, I think, on the ad there. But there's also $199 shipping, so that's a $500 bike right there. And I was going to get that for $149. I don't think so. So, anywho, I'm happy about the way it did turn out, and I was thrilled to death, as a matter of fact. And so I did tell my son that I got one, and he was happy about that, I hope. And so anyway, like I said, that's going to do me. I got to get busy and do this and get this thing into the shape to ride. I would like to ride it now. You got to charge the battery, obviously. I don't know how long that takes, but I think it's 2 to 4 hours, I think they said. But probably won't get to ride it today, but I think we're still in good enough weather here. Maybe I can get out tomorrow and do a short ride, put the GoPro on, and just do a little ride around the block or something that show that it is working, and that would be happy for me anyway. And so we'll go from there. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.